What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today we are talking about Emma Frost and also pairing her up with Magneto. Now, this footage comes from one of my guildmates, DunaMax. He did some testing. His Brotherhood characters, for the most part, are not very good. He hasn't really built up his Brotherhood 2.0 team, so he doesn't have a solid team for Magneto with Brotherhood characters. He does have a fantastic Marauder team, as you'll see in the footage. He's got T14, Mr. Sinister. He's got a very strong Marauders team, but his Sabretooth was kind of weak. So what he did was he took out Sabretooth and brought in Magneto. Now, this is not going to be for everybody. This is just some theory crafting, showing some potential with Emma Frost, pairing up with Magneto, and some combinations you can use here. And honestly, if you're not working on your Brotherhood team, if you don't have Toad and Blob up, you probably don't have a strong Brotherhood team for Magneto, so maybe this is something for you to use. This is just kind of a cool kind of concept video that we're working on. We're just trying to show what you guys get here. So the big thing is Magneto buffs up Brotherhood allies, and Mr. Sinister buffs up Marauder allies. Now, we're taking out Sabretooth, but we still have Mystique. Mystique is both Brotherhood and Marauder, so she's going to get the benefits from both Mr. Sinister and Magneto. Magneto himself, with his passive ability, gives bonus focus, resistance, max health to Brotherhood allies, so Mystique gets that. And then with Mr. Sinister, he also buffs up Marauder allies. He gets the healing for max health. So you get quite a bit more boosting here with this. So Mystique gets a lot of bonus focus. She gets a lot of bonus max health and some bonus resistance as well. This it really kind of buffs up Mystique, makes her quite a bit tankier. But also, one thing we're going to see as we go through this footage, the ultimate with Magneto, where it pulls everyone in together, really brings out the best in Strife and his ultimate ability, because it applies ability block to the primary target and adjacent targets. So you target the center target with this, and everybody gets ability block. It's beautiful. It's fantastic to watch. We're going to go through all that footage, but I'm going to do some theory crafting here as well with Brotherhood 2.0 and Emma Frost. I know Emma Frost is great for Marauders, but I kind of want to see if maybe their Brotherhood team with Magneto, Blob, Toad, Juggernaut, maybe swap out Pyro for Emma. See if that gets something here too, because Emma buffs up your mutant villain allies just as a whole. She has some synergy with Marauders, but she also has this thing where she reduces the speed for enemies. She has the ability to apply immunity to self and all mutant villain allies. That's a big deal sometimes. She can mind control and clear positive effects from all allies. I'm kind of curious to see how this is all going to work, and we'll do some testing with it, and I'll get back to you guys with Brotherhood and how Emma Frost fits in with them. But today we're focusing on Marauders with Magneto brought in instead of Sabretooth. We've got some footage here punching up 100k against Symbiotes, against X-Force, punching up 30 or 40k against Black Order. So we're just going to do some proof of concept, some theory crafting stuff here. Once again, thank you, DunaMax. Let's go ahead and get into the footage, and let's break down some of these fights and show how Magneto can actually work really well with Emma Frost and Marauders. All right, so the first one we got here is a huge punch up against Symbiotes. 140, 160, I can't even do math. That's a big punch up, and you can see that we've got a very strong symbiote trio here. Carnage, Venom, and Symbiote Spider-Man, very strong here with these 6 and 7 red stars. And honestly, this team just kind of walks right over it. So we'll start here at the beginning, and what he's gonna do automatically is just pull everybody in with the ultimate from Magneto. We've got the taunt here on Strife, and he pulls everybody in, gets blind out there, and honestly, at this point, it's kind of, it's really affecting the symbiote team. Remember, Emma Frost being here reduces the speed on the enemies by 10%. She gets the immunity here. You can tell there's not a T4 on this because only a few characters get the immunity. But this also is kind of a big deal because debuffs are a big thing with symbiotes. So if you can get immunity on your mutant villain allies, prevent the debuffs from stacking up with the symbiotes, that really kind of limits their power. You know, we got the blind here really affecting things, the disrupt, everything's missing because of the blind. And then in a moment, you're going to see that Strife just unleashes. And when he puts that ability block, you know it's pretty much over. We got defense down with the clone symbiote Spider-Man, misses here. So you got Mystique going crazy here, doing a bunch of damage. And then here is the coup de grace, the ability block. But yeah, I mean, look at that. Ability block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ability block on all 5 enemies there. I mean, that's just wrong. That's not nice. That's like cyberbullying there. And at this point, you don't really have to use her ultimate here. I mean, you get the mind control doing some damage to the symbiotes. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's kind of over. The blind, the ability block, it's really put Symbiotes behind. They couldn't do damage to the team. And Marauders, now you have all these buffs. Look at all these stacks of buffs. Look at the stacks of immunity here on Magneto, Mr. Sinister, on Strife, I mean, look at all the stacks of immunity. At this point, you can't apply debuffs. This team is done. They can't apply debuffs, so Symbiotes are pretty much, they're out of luck. And there's nothing you can really do here, and it's just pretty much auto at this point. No need to keep playing it. He can just hit the auto button and just roll right over this team. And yeah, I mean, that's it. This team's done. There's nothing here. So yeah, 160k punch up against Symbiotes here. That looks pretty dang strong. Let's try an X-Force punch up here, about 100k against X-Force. Now, X-Force seem to be a pretty strong team for war offense. Not as strong in blitz, so you have to keep that in mind. But again, we're going to have the same thing here. We got the taunt here with Strife. Magneto's going to go, and he's going to pull everyone in with blind. And then at this point, I mean, you go for Domino. He did misplay this. He went for Deadpool. You're supposed to go for Domino because there's no point killing Deadpool while Domino's still up. But yeah, I mean, we got Emma Frost going here. We're gonna cleanse debuffs here in a moment. But yeah, I mean, Deadpool's just not doing enough damage. You got to go for Domino, finish off Domino. But he can also try cloning Domino, see if that helps, or cloning Cable. Cloning the Cable's nice. Cloning Negasonic here is also nice. Same with X-23. Any one of those three characters, I would totally clone. Just because they just bring so much utility in. And then yeah, we go for Domino here, but I mean, look, it's gonna be another match that's just not even close. I mean, yeah, you lost Strife there, probably because yeah, you have Deadpool here who executed Strife, but I mean, at the same time, you just kind of clean it up, not really just kind of fast forwarding it here, because yeah, there's nothing to say here. This one also does great. And maybe we'll get a couple hits here against Negasonic, and you know, her barrier's stacking up because we're passive, but you're gonna be able to slowly chew through that with your characters. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Actually, it looks like Negasonic is gonna do some damage retaliate here, but it looks like this may take a little bit longer. Negasonic is actually not too bad of a character, even for Blitz, because that barrier that keeps charging up, that's not a war offense ability, that's just in general, she keeps getting that barrier. So that's making things take a bit longer, but you know, Mr. Sinister gives all those buffs again. And we got another clone here of Negasonic. And yeah, I mean, at some point, he's just going to finish off Negasonic, and that's going to be it. There you go. So 100k punch up with that. Now let's go into the Black Order counters. All right, so we're going to start with the Black Order fight and Blitz here, about a 40k punch up. One thing I do want to remind you before we go into this footage, remember, there's no T4s on Emma Frost, and she's still pretty weak. She's only gear 11 here, so she's not going to have the huge amounts of focus. She's not going to have the T4s, but we're still going to get an idea of what to expect with her here, and we'll go in. And one of the big things that Emma Frost is going to bring here is the ability to cleanse debuffs from your team and remove positive effects from the enemy team, and this is why you're going to want to level her up and get her gear on her, because you need that focus. Now, Mr. Sinister is going to give her some focus too. You can see things right off the bat not starting that great. We're almost ready to lose Emma Frost here, and this is going to be one of the problems with a lower star Emma Frost right now. She's still going to be pretty squishy, especially you saw that was like 100k power Thanos there. Not that great. Flipping some debuffs here, and yeah, no bueno. And now we're going to use the Vortex here. We're going to get blind a bunch of characters. There's blind here on these two characters. And then we're gonna start hammering the team. Now remember, with the blind on Cole, you can hit the enemy team and not have to worry about retribution from him. But here we have Emma Frost going, and look at what she did there. Look at that goodness. She cleansed all the debuffs from your team here, removed all the bleeds. She got rid of the disrupt on here, got some immunity on some characters, and kind of started to turn things back in your favor. Cloned Cole Obsidian here, but really no choice. He had the taunt on him, so couldn't really do anything about that. But the blind on these characters is really being helpful right now. We'll do the mind trick here, get some damage in on Cole Obsidian, the evade on Mystique, and yeah, we're just gonna start going from here, and we're gonna try to get ability block here in the center. Now, one thing to point out is that this enemy Black Order team was arranged in a very strong way to counter Marauders. Now, you go back here to the beginning of the fight, and you can notice Thanos is here in the center, not next to Cole Obsidian. This is a big deal, and this is where Magneto is going to be very helpful in countering this kind of team. A lot of content creators have been talking about how Thanos next to Cole Obsidian has made them very susceptible to Marauders, especially Strife, because Strife can put the ability block on Cole Obsidian since Thanos is right next to him. Thanos gets ability block too. But with this, Thanos is spread out, so you can't get that ability block on him. This is where Magneto is actually going to be very helpful for this. This ultimate pulling everybody in that can put Thanos next to Cole Obsidian and get that ability block. Big deal there. But anyways, yeah, so keep going here, and then Mr. Sinister throws out all these buffs. If you can survive long enough, get Mr. Sinister, throw out the buffs, and then you have the mind control, you have the removal of buffs from the enemy team with Emma Frost, you have the cleansing of debuffs with her as well. Remember, no T4s on her yet, so she's not doing too much, but you can see that once we get those T4s on her, she's going to be quite a bit of a powerhouse. And now we just go for Thanos. Thanos is going to get off his ultimate here in a minute, but with all these abilities on, so this defense up, the death proof, the immunity, this healing, it's gonna make it very hard to kill. He's gonna kill off Strife, but everybody else is still up. That defense up really helps save them. That was a big deal. Now also, if you had charge on Emma Frost, this is where something really great with Emma Frost, she gains like 600 or 500, 400, 500% bonus defense. So she's liable to not take damage. You can time that with the ultimate from Thanos, really cut down the damage he's gonna do. So, yeah, I mean, at this point, we're just going for Thanos, slowly working on him. You got the Disrupt on Cole Obsidian, so you don't have to worry about him taunting or gaining death proof. You just keep hammering on Thanos. That's the big deal here. And, yeah, slowly working through things. Mr. Sinister's doing his thing where he's healing back up. But, yeah, it's just a slowly chewing through, and there we go. Oh, man. So I don't think there was a T4 on that time shift for Thanos, because it didn't really flip as many as I was afraid of. But there we go, Thanos is gone, and once Thanos is gone, it's kind of clean up at that point. So it looks like a pretty good punch up. It's gonna need some work. Emma Frost needing her T4s would definitely make this a lot easier. And if he had cloned someone besides Cole Obsidian, like he had cloned Ebony Maw, that would have been a big help as well. That Hell Steel, the defense up, the offense down, all that would have been very helpful. So decent punch up there. Let's talk about this one. So he's gonna be punched up against Spanking Fob over here, 460k power, and what he's actually doing, he's actually bringing in Phoenix, and this is about a 60k punch up. Takes out Strife, brings in Phoenix, and honestly, this is a nice little theory crafting thing, but I'm not sure how viable it will be. Again, we need to see the T4s on Emma Frost for this, and she doesn't have those, so this team doesn't perform as strong as it should here. And one of the big issues is now we don't have the ability block with Strife, so Magneto doesn't really work here. It's kind of unfortunate, but he wanted to try it out. He sent me this footage late while I was working on the video, so I said, you know what, let's try it. Let's see what we can do here. But yeah, look at that. Emma Frost is so close to dying, but Phoenix is going to save her bacon here. Phoenix is going to use her special here, heal everybody up, steal all those bleed effects. Luckily, Mystique is still alive here. Look at that. Everyone's healing back up, and then we're going to cleanse the debuffs here. So Phoenix is saved, at least for one turn, but she's going to die here in a moment. We're going to clone Ebony Maw, thankfully, and with cloning Ebony Maw, you get that healing, you get the defense up, you get the offense down on the enemy team. It's a big deal. So getting that's big. The blind on Corvus there was very helpful. So Magneto is actually doing some pretty nice work here with countering Black Order. Emma Frost, once we get those T4s on her, she's going to be much better here, and then we can cleanse, we can remove the taunt on Cole Obsidian and start going for some of these other characters. And here we go, we get the blind, we get the mind control, get some damage in on Cole Obsidian. Kind of wish we could get done that on Thanos. He admits, DunaMax admits he didn't play this as great as he should have. There you go, Phoenix is going now, and she's going to do her thing, doing all that adjacent damage with her basic, because that's what she does. And our Ebony Maw is going to die here in a second with the clone there. Mystique is just barely holding on. No disrupt. Couldn't get those debuffs on him, and Emma Frost is gone. This is the big problem with having a weak Emma Frost right now, and this is why we also need to see her with better gear. And those who have her at better gear and star level say she is doing a great job. So weaker Emma Frost, probably not best for countering things here, but you can see the potential synergy here, and then Mr. Sinister does his thing. All those buffs. Look at that offense up on Phoenix. Phoenix is just going to wreck things here in a second. That's going to be great. But no Cole Obsidian over here. Very helpful, because that means you don't have to worry about retaliation. Phoenix is just going to wipe out things there. And yeah, there goes Thanos flipping everything. That was no good. No good at all. That was just not fun. just wiped out. Thanos just about wiped out the whole team. He's gonna win this just barely, but yeah, I mean, not good. So, I mean, take with it as you will. He recorded the footage. He just wanted me to show it, so I'm showing you. Phoenix instead of Strife. Not sure how strong it's gonna be, but hey, it's something to consider. So, Magneto with Emma Frost, some good potential there. Again, you'll need a stronger Emma Frost. You need the T4s on her. Not impressive without the T4s as we're seeing here in this, but let me know down below, what do you guys think about Emma Frost and Magneto, this possible combination? I'm going to do some testing with Emma Frost and regular Brotherhood 2.0 teams tomorrow. See if we can get some stuff with that, and I'll be over on Twitch. Make sure to check that out. Twitch.tv/McMole2. It'll be sometime in the afternoon. So we'll do some testing with her over there as well, to make sure you check that out. But as always, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check out more Marvel Strike Force videos on the channel, and I will see you guys next time.